G'day beautiful people, welcome back. Version 45 patch notes have dropped a few hours ago, and I thought we'd go over it and talk about the bit of brouhaha going on about the death of Paragon. So before we get into the patch notes, I would like to state that in case you haven't already noticed the blog post by Paragon which addresses concerns that the community has had that the game is ending development at the end of next month. I will link that down below so that you can see it, but pretty much the TLDR is that it is not ending development at the end of February. It is simply slowing down, and the reason for that is the massive success of Fortnite. They've had to reallocate group members, team members, which is completely and utterly fair. You think about if you were running the company yourself, if you had a moderately successful title and a title that just absolutely blew up and is worldwide, just extremely popular, you would allocate whatever resources you had to that second title just to make sure that it did the best that it could. So you can't fault them in any way, shape or form. There are some things that do need to be happening though. Matchmaking is one of them. Matchmaking needs to be fixed, and ranked mode needs to come in. We do need more cards, which I'm assuming are coming over the next 2 months. As far as ranked mode goes though, I think there are some things that people want, and the main things that I'm hearing are that people want separate solo queue versus stacks, different matchmaking for both of them, so solo queuers won't come up against groups, and then have a separate matchmaking for 2s, 3s and 5s, because obviously you can't have groups of 4 because they will need a solo player on their team to fill out that team, so it would only be groups of 2, 3 and 5 that can actually search, which would be nice. But keep in mind that ranked mode not coming out right now is not that bad of a thing, because ranked is one of the things that really needs to be implemented very, very well from the onset, or it's not going to help anything. Ranked mode needs to be thoroughly engaging and rewarding, not just a matter of a ranked playlist with an ELO number attached to it. That's not good enough. Because it's pretty much what we have right now. They have an internal MMR, internal ELO, that they use for matchmaking. So pretty much it would just be a name change, and potentially a quick match would change, because it would not rely so heavily on MMR or ELO. Apologize for my voice as well, I'm a little bit ill. So I think it needs to be extremely engaging, it needs to be well put together, it needs to look good, all the menu system needs to look good, there needs to be rewards, whether it's something simple along the lines of emblems for or an avatar or something along those lines, ranked only skins, anything. It just needs a lot of stuff in there. It needs to keep people coming back. The other thing that people are annoyed about is not having the second map. It is being implemented over the next couple of months on the new Asian servers. You need to keep in mind that for this game to do really, really well, the implementation of the Asian servers needs to go very well, because they can potentially make this game huge. It has the potential to be very, very popular in the Asian circuit. So if they test out this new map on those Asian servers, that's a good thing. Give them everything that you can, make them happy, keep them around. It's going to be good for Paragon. Alright, so with that mini rant out of the way, let's have a look at the actual patch notes. As far as changes goes, it's mainly cards and hero changes, and a Terra skin. Oh, I just sneezed my head off. So the Terra skin is quite nice. Moving on to hero changes. Aurora is now untargetable until she lands. Untargetable means that you will not be able to use any form of card on her or ability that requires a lock on. So I'm assuming that things like Moragesh's Mark won't be able to work on Aurora while she is in her ultimate. You know, silence cards won't be able to work, things like that. Hoarfrost is getting a damage increase. That's quite substantial. And the scaling's being increased. That's nice. Maybe she might come back in some form. Then we have Countess. Countess will now deal damage to heroes that are unstoppable if they're near Countess after the initial stun. So that means that if Countess ults a Terra, obviously Terra's not going to be stunned if she has her ult active, because she's unstoppable, but if she does not get far enough away after the initial stun, she will take damage from Countess. Crunch has just had some minor improvements to his sound effects. Dekka's slow bubble damage has been increased, and the scaling on it's been increased. Not sure whether that's really enough to bring her fully into the meta, but it may do because Muriel's getting some work as well. Drongo's rad rounds of having their damage increased quite a bit. It's not huge, but it's enough to definitely feel that difference, and the scaling's been increased as well. Gideon's just having some sound effects improved. Greystone is getting his ultimate cooldown increased by 20 seconds at max level. It used to be at minute, now it's 80 seconds. General Balance is getting health regen increased and health regen per level decreased. Grim is having the damage increased on his Displacement Blast by a little bit, and the scaling is being increased. For as far as General Balance go, that's where it's actually going to be quite nice. Basic mana increased, needed it. Mana per level increased, needed it. Mana regen increased, it also needed it, and mana regen per level. Iggy is having basic attack effects improved, and just some visual improvements to an emote. Kwong is having the armor that he gets off his Light of Heavens decreased quite a bit. He's also getting his health decreased and his health regen decreased as well. That's going to maybe push him down a little bit. He's currently one of the top 2 offlaners at the moment. Just keep in mind that these changes, although they're not amazing at face value, what they're serving to do is sort of push a couple of heroes down a little bit. The sort of S tier heroes get pushed down a little bit, which allows others to shine a little bit more and just change up the meta a little bit. So Bellica's just having some visual effects, various effects rather, improved. Then we have Muriel. She's having some cooldowns increased, and the slow duration on her Serenity is being decreased. So she's not going to be quite as strong early game. Muriel is definitely the best support right now, so this is what I mean in regards to just changing up the meta. Dekka's getting a buff, Narbash and FaZe are getting buffs, and Muriel's getting a slight nerf, which might just push her down a bit and allow the others to shine a little bit more. So Narbash is getting damage on his Thunk increased, which is not really that crash hot. Narbash didn't really need that much, he kind of just needed Muriel to not be so amazing. FaZe's Energy Lance is getting its damage increased back up, and the scaling is being increased, and she's getting cooldown of 10 seconds at max level on her ultimate. Rampage, another instance of heroes just being toned down a little bit so other people can shine. His Rumble is going to do less damage, and the scaling has been decreased, and his Enraged has had its cooldown increased. It used to be 50 seconds, now it's 60, so he can still ult quite often, but it's not quite as drastic as it used to be, and the duration has been decreased by 2 seconds, so that is nice. It's not going to break him, it's just going to mean that potentially someone else can come into the fold. Revenant's Hellfire rounds no longer count as an ability cast. In regards to card interactions, nothing else there. Electrocute on Richter is getting a mana cost decrease, nice. Sparrow is getting a nerf, just a minor nerf. Basic damage is being decreased at base level. Her attack damage per level is being decreased slightly. She will still be a hyper carry, but she won't be quite as good early game. Not saying that she is just insane early game, but she's supposed to be a late game hero, so that will help a little bit with that. She will still do well. The basic attack damage per level is not that drastic for her. She will do fine. Steel's Bulwark, mana cost decrease from 100 to 40. That's insane. I'm liking that. The Bulwark from Steel is a very, very good ability. Allows him to tower dive and take no damage. His general health though is being decreased, so he's having his base health decreased, and he's having his health regen decreased. Terra, massive changes. Counter Guard, that is where she puts her shield up and blocks things, now blocks damage and crowd control from cards that have CC, except for Cryo Agent. She now blocks slows from Hunter's Sight, damage over time like Stinging Orb, fixed an issue that was preventing Terra from taking damage related to cards. While it was active, cooldown has been decreased. At max level it's going down a second to 5, and the mana cost has been decreased to 25, so that's going to help her quite a lot. She was a little bit mana hungry. Ruthless Assault, which is her swing of axes, is having the mana cost decreased quite a bit at max level, 110 down to 75. Deafening Command, which is her stun, the mana cost has been decreased as well, down to 75, will no longer go on cooldown if it is interrupted before dealing damage. Unstoppable Force, which is her ultimate, cooldown has been decreased by 20 seconds at max level. That's pretty big, so she's going to be a little bit better than she was. Nothing too mental, but that'll bring her into the fold a bit more. Phase Harvest Nettles now gains mana based on how much she spent to cast Harvest Nettles when using the Tireless Reaper card. So that means that if Faye has Tireless Reaper, the next ability she casts will cost 30% less, so she will get mana based on how much she spent rather than the full cost. Wraith changed the way we detect when Back It Up fails to teleport its target, adding improved feedback for players when a failure occurs. Wukong's back. They are nerfing his Staff of Legend. The damage is being decreased and the scaling is being decreased. Also his basic attack damage is being decreased as well. And they've fixed the issue where the staff was exploitable, so he'll be around again for a while. Alright, Yin is no longer able to target enemies behind a fog wall without having vision. Good. Alright, next up we have cards. Now, keep in mind I haven't looked through all of this, so this might be a bit sloppy. So note, all updates are based on level 1 card values, but will affect all levels of cards. So that means that they affect PvP levels, which is level 1, but it will also adjust things when they're leveled up. So there's minor visual improvements to overhead card pop-up animations, fixed an issue where cards with targeting modes were being cancelled when bound to circle button. Thank you so much, it's about time that that's been fixed because it's so annoying. Alright, first up, Chaos, Deathcrawler. Fixed an issue where Deathcrawler would no longer function when you swapped slots. It's been an issue with a couple of cards. The passives, the passives would not proc if you put the card on and then swapped what slot it was in later on. Pressure Hunter, they've increased the damage bonus per vitality differential up to 3 now, but it is no longer exploitable. Thorn Yomi can no longer be activated while stunned. Improved audio feedback, improved visual clarity. Into Death. Awaken the Emmerich no longer grants health regen, it now grants health. That makes sense. Printing Spectre, they fixed an issue where 2 people could get executed if someone jumped in front of it and they were not targeted. Nuke Blood Mutant fixed an issue where Seraph's Heaven's Fury would not proc the passive. Had no idea that was a thing. They've reworked Numbing Rogue. Now this is a little bit of a thing. So before, Numbing Rogue just had a passive attack speed debuff aura, which is at the bottom here. You can see at the bottom here, this one. It used to reduce attack speed of people around by 20%. That will now be 6%, but it has an active. Each of the next 5 basic attack hits within 10 seconds steals 8 attack speed from an enemy. It lasts for 5 seconds with a 30-second cooldown. So you used to be able to slow everyone's attack speed by 20% within an area. Now it's only 6, but you can activate it and attack someone 5 times to steal 8 attack speed each time. So that's 40% you can take off them. So if you are with your carry, you're running on this on your support, let's say you're playing Faye versus Faye and Sparrow versus Faye and Sparrow, you start attacking the Sparrow with this card activated, and you can bring them down after 5 basic attacks to, you can take 46% of their attack speed off, so nearly halving their DPS. So all in all, it's a nerf to the aura, but it's a big buff for the card. Possessed Sprite no longer grants power. Thank you, that makes sense. Vampiric Blade, just a visual thing. Warlock's Burden can no longer be interrupted, which is okay, I guess. Wicked Riposte has had its mana cost reduced and reduced the cooldown by half. Withering Shadow no longer able to be interrupted. Stuns and silences will no longer automatically cancel. That's a thing. Alright, moving into growth. Once again, I'm sorry for my voice. I'm getting like so sick as we speak right now. So Coursing Zephyr reduced mana cost from 75 to 50. Reduced the cooldown as well. Good. Maybe we'll see that used a lot more. Attack speed on Flame of Zekin is gone. Good, because it didn't make sense. Growth Totem is having both the power and the health nerfed. Good, because everyone fucking uses it for some reason. Pack Leader is having power increased on it. Only by 1. It's going up to 9, and it's having its cooldown reduced by 10 seconds. That's okay, I suppose. It's not really used at all. Maybe we might see it used, who knows. Pensive Shaman, increased health regen per mana restored from 20 to 25%, increased mana regen from 84 to 100. Pensive Shaman gave you health regen based on a percentage of your mana regen. So if you're regenning 10 mana per second, you would get 2 health back, but now you get 2.5. Trapper, they're reducing the slow percentage per hit from 5 to 4. And reducing the attack speed from 32 to 30. Not sure that's really enough, but that's fine. Unbroken Spirit is getting a massive change. If I am correct, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm remembering this as off the top of my head. The old reactive regeneration used to heal the user for 3% of their max health over the course of the next couple of seconds. I'm thinking it was 4, but maybe it was 2. But anyway, now it heals for 3% of your max health every half a second while affected. So keep in mind that some stuns go up to and slightly over 2 seconds. So that would be 12% of your max health over the course of that stun. So for someone like Rampage, that's actually really good because his health is huge, or Several. Now we have Knowledge, Arcane Dancer, increase the max health on the card. Black Ice Routine, increase the max health. Some issues with Cryo Agent have been fixed. Echelon Soldier, the card that allows you to go invis when you're stationary, increase the power. Mana Flow Acolyte, this seems huge. Mana Flow Acolyte is a 3 intellect cost card that you put on when you only have 3 points, and then you gain power equal to you gain power every time you spend points into intellect. So you have 22 points of intellect left to spend when you already have 3 for this card. So you would have got 11% power on top, having 25 intellect. Now you will have 22. That's pretty bloody good. That is strong enough to keep that as an endgame card. Let's be honest, the 22 power. It will definitely curve very well. Especially, you know, if you are farming well and going straight intellect the whole way, so mid lane caster, this card is going to be a must-have. OPD Militia no longer deals bonus damage if the basic attack is blocked. Fixed an issue where OPD was not working correctly with Steel's Shield Bash or Drongo's Old Rusty. Now works with Grux's Double Pain and Seraph's Heaven's Fury. Are we really going to see OPD Militia Gruxes now? Oh my god. Power Tap can no longer be activated while stunned. Not sure why you'd want to, just use it at base. They've completely reworked Shipyard Scavenger. It used to have lone bonus gold where you'll get, I think, 450 or 455 bonus gold for killing an enemy when there was no one else around. But now, after killing an enemy unit, your next basic attack deals 25 bonus damage. That's actually not bad. This is probably going to be used on OPD builds. I would hazard a guess at, because you can kill a minion in your wave and then have an extra 25 bonus damage. It would be very good at the start of the game. Stasis Runes having a power increase and grants armor as well. Not bad. Static Trap fixed an issue. Thaumaturge increased max mana to 155. Nice. Wetware Virus is having an ability armor buff to 24. That's nice. Alright, as far as order goes, Domain of Stillness increased the power from 16 to 20. Not sure why Domain of Stillness is still having power on it when it's a group stasis card, but that's fine. Form of Rubbish, just a bit of a fix. Lamplighter fixed an issue where players could still place wards after unequipping it. Good. Onslaught Gem, they fixed an issue where the cooldown of Steel Shield wouldn't be affected. Or wouldn't be affected properly, and Spell Shield is having an improved visual clarity. There are a bunch of UI changes. Status Effect area will now correctly track effects that are stacked while active, always reporting the expected end of the effect. Minor visual improvements to the draft lobby, minor grammatical fixes in Deck Builder, Gem Selector and Card Inspect screen, fixed an issue with Crunch not animating on the featured hero homepage. There's some AI improvements, but I don't really think we're far enough along to really worry about that right now. Just keep working on it, Epic, get them good enough so that they can actually be useful. Tutorial changes, don't think it's going to be enough to make the tutorial worthwhile being called a tutorial. Some bunch of polish and bug fixes. They're changing the names of the buffs, and there's some stuff added to loot crates. So they're taking out Glacierborn Rampage and Copper Beast Rampage. They are adding Jungle Griffin Night Terror, Bronze Griffin Night Terror, and Velvet and Sky Gold Bones Undertow Gideon, which are probably pretty nice. So all in all, patch notes, kind of mixed bag with me. I am very happy about the changes that have been made, but I wish there was some things that made it in. Obviously, I wish we had Boris. I wish we were closer than we are to the matchmaking system or the ranked. But like I said, I would rather that you fix the matchmaking system when you have a great one. I would rather you implement ranked when you know that it's good enough and does not need to be constantly adjusted like the rest of the game. Make it worthwhile playing. Make it fun and engaging for people to want to come back, because if it just ends up being, like I said, a different mode to search that just has the... because right now we have standard quick play, and it has an internal MMR that's users to search people of equal skill. If you get rid of that in quick match and just make it quick match, like quick match should be, and then put that same matchmaking system onto ranked mode and show us what ELO people are, that's not going to be good enough. People just will not care. It needs to be great, it needs to be engaging, it needs to have an amazing menu with access to see all the things that you can get from playing matchmaking, all the rewards you can get from playing matchmaking, and there needs to be substantial amounts of rewards, whether it just be, you know, play a certain amount of matches a week and get a key or a chest. You know, it needs something. I really think you need to start working on the way that you implement skins into the game. Obviously, I think tier 3 skins should be paid for, tier 2 skins should be paid for. I think that you should be able to earn skin variations for tier 1 skins through playing ranked. If you play ranked with Kong, for example, you can earn all of his tier 1 skin variations, something like that. Just needs to be fun, engaging, and huge. But that's it, guys. That's patch notes for the 12th of January 2018, version 45. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry that I sounded so putrid. I just got so sick. halfway through making this. I've stopped so many times to go and sneeze and blow my nose. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll leave the link to the patch notes and a link to the blog post that I spoke of earlier in the description down below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Love your face. Catch you in the next one. Peace.